Skynet. The Terminator is a 1984 American science fiction action film co-written and directed by James Cameron. He conceived the premise of the film from a fever dream experienced during the release process. A machine sent back in time from the Los Angeles of 2029 to 1984 is a cybernetic assassin known as the Terminator. The Terminator disguises himself as a man and is programmed to hunt down and assassinate a woman named Sarah Connor.
Hey, what's wrong with this picture?
Having just arrived in a naked state, he immediately kills two young men standing nearby to steal their clothes. A moment later, a soldier named Reese is also sent back in a naked state, but unluckily for him, the police are searching for a naked young man. He is immediately pursued by the police, so he must hide in a nearby supermarket. Kyle takes the opportunity to grab clothes and shoes from the racks to put on. He runs outside and steals a gun along with ammunition from a police car. Next, Kyle urgently searches for the address of Sarah, the person whom he needs to protect. At this time, Sarah is working as a waitress at a restaurant. The Terminator goes to a gun store to shop for gear, but while examining a firearm, he loads it and then shoots the shop owner dead. After searching for addresses in the phone book, the Terminator goes to the house of Sarah, but there are too many women with the same name Sarah, so he continues to go to each house and systematically kill everyone named Sarah.
Rakana?
Yes?
The police quickly receive reports about cases where all the victims are named Sarah in the order of the phone book and the ballistics are identical. That evening, Sarah takes her motorcycle out to go to a nightclub. Kyle constantly follows behind in secret to protect her. The police begin to contact the women named Sarah who are listed next in the directory, but since Sarah has already gone out, the police broadcast a television report to warn her to be careful. When Sarah sees the news, she immediately checks the phone book and realizes that she is the next person. Sarah leaves in a state of fear, but then discovers there is a man following behind her. She immediately hides and disappears. The Terminator also finds his way to the house of Sarah at this time. At this moment, only her friend Ginger, the roommate of Sarah, is at home being intimate with her boyfriend. When the Terminator enters the room, he sees the boyfriend of Ginger, Matt, lying on the bed, so he approaches and throws Matt across the floor. Next, the Terminator draws his gun and shoots the friend Ginger dead because he mistakes her for Sarah. Right at this moment, Sarah calls home and leaves a message about her location.
Ginger, this is Sarah. Pick up if you're there. I'm at this place on Pico Boulevard called Tech Noir. I'm really scared. I
think that there's somebody after me. I hope that you play this back soon. I need
you and Matt to come and pick me up as soon as possible.
The police keep transferring me around. I'm gonna give them another try.
The number here is 555-9175. Call me, kiddo. I need your help.
When the Terminator hears it, he only then realizes that he has not yet killed the real Sarah. Sarah also calls the police to report her location so they can come to protect her, but the Terminator has already arrived. He identifies her using an employee ID card to find Sarah. As the Terminator approaches and prepares to kill Sarah, Kyle appears just in time and manages to protect her. Kyle pulls out his gun in time and shoots the Terminator repeatedly, but the Terminator immediately springs back up and sprays bullets like rain at everyone. He changes his magazine and approaches the fallen Sarah to keep shooting, but Kyle fires 3 more shots at him. Immediately, Kyle takes Sarah and flees. The Terminator also pursues them at once. Kyle and Sarah steal a car to escape. The Terminator reaches his hand through the glass intending to seize Sarah, but Kyle drives the car into another vehicle to knock him off. The Terminator continues to pursue them both in a stolen police car. While they are fleeing, Sarah panics because she does not yet understand anything. Kyle only now tells her. The one trying to kill her is a robot sent from a future world 40 years later back to this point in time. The Terminator is equipped by an artificial intelligence defense network called Skynet created by Cyberdyne Systems. The Terminator is an efficient and relentless killing machine. On the outside, he has the appearance of human flesh with the ability to mimic voices perfectly, but on the inside is an endoskeleton frame made of a super strong, durable alloy covered by living tissue. The Terminator was sent to kill Sarah, while Kyle was sent by the future son of Sarah, John, to protect her. Sarah does not believe him and thinks that Kyle must be insane to think of such a thing.
Get your head down!
Upon reaching a parking lot, The two hide in another car because the police are pursuing them. Kyle begins to explain that in the future world, when the artificial intelligence Skynet became too intelligent, it gradually developed self-awareness and triggered a global nuclear war intended to drive humanity to extinction. It hacked the missile systems of Russia and the United States and then launched the missiles to destroy most of mankind. John is the one who later gathers the survivors and leads a successful resistance movement against Skynet and its machine forces. Because it could see the future, before the victory of the resistance forces, Skynet sends the Terminator back in time to eliminate Sarah, thereby preventing the birth of John. By the time the story reaches this point, the Terminator also finds the two of them and begins to fire his gun repeatedly. The Terminator continues the pursuit to hunt them down no matter what. Kyle has Sarah drive while he stands up and shoots him in the head. The Terminator loses control and crashes straight into a wall at an intersection. The police also arrive and surround Kyle and Sarah after the clash with the Terminator. When the police look toward the car damaged by the collision, the Terminator has already disappeared. Upon returning to the police station, they assume that Kyle is insane because he only gives statements about science fiction things. Next, the police go to interrogate Sarah and hope that she will tell them everything. Meanwhile, the Terminator returns home at this time to repair his machinery, while the group of police officers continues to mock the testimony of Kyle about the future world. Having been shot, the Terminator has a damaged camera in his right eye, so he wears black sunglasses to cover it. The police say that thanks to the testimony of the delusional Kyle, they could write a script for a science fiction movie.
This is great stuff. I could make a career out of this guy. You see how clever this part is? How it doesn't require a shred of proof? And most paranoid delusions are intricate, but this is brilliant.
They let Sarah rest at the police station. Immediately after, the Terminator also arrives and attacks the police station. He crashes his car through the police station and then takes out a gun to shoot, causing a string of police deaths and throwing the entire station into chaos. To hunt down Sarah, the Terminator even cuts the power to the entire headquarters. It is often said that luck does not smile twice, but it seems James Cameron will do just that for the main character. Kyle takes the opportunity to fight the police to escape, while the Terminator continues to destroy the police station. He uses various types of firearms skillfully and handles things decisively, leaving no one alive in order to find Sarah and destroy her. At Traxler, police lieutenant, tries to empty his entire magazine into the Terminator, but when the machine fires back, he dies instantly. Sarah hides under a desk, terrified and not daring to make a sound. Hearing a noise at the door, her heart feels as if it wants to jump out of her chest. Kyle runs up at this moment and takes Sarah outside. The two escape, stealing another car to drive away. Both of them get out of the car and walk to find temporary shelter under a bridge. Because the weather is too cold, Kyle and Sarah have to sit next to each other, embracing one another to stay warm. Kyle admits that he has loved Sarah ever since he saw her in the photograph that John gave to him. It is because he wanted to meet his idol and because of his love for Sarah that he traveled through time to be here. Kyle also recounts how the Sarah of the future led humanity against the artificial intelligence.
Come on, do I look like the mother of the future? I mean, am I tough? Organized? I can't even balance my checkbook. Look, Reese, I didn't ask for this honor, and I don't want it. Any of it.
Sarah thinks Kyle is joking because, at the moment, she does not even know how to cook, let alone lead anyone. Kyle begins to tell Sarah about the future in the year 2029. At that time, Kyle and his comrades are hiding in an underground base. Humanity at this point lives entirely in places like that. While Kyle is sitting and resting after a battle, a Terminator in human form suddenly arrives and begins spraying bullets indiscriminately. This is the first generation of robots with the designation T-1000. The robot shoots and kills almost everyone in that bunker. When they wake up the next morning, the two continue their flight. On the side of the Terminator, he also continues to search for them. Kyle leaves Sarah at a motel while he goes out to find more weapons. Sarah is alone and calls to tell her mother that she is still alive so that her mother can feel at ease. The mother pleads for Sarah to give her location so that she can come to see her. Sarah immediately reads the address to her, but she does not know that the person she has been communicating with this whole time is actually the Terminator, who has disguised himself as her mother. He has killed the mother of Sarah for the sole purpose of identifying her location. Kyle buys more guns and then constructs 6 pipe bombs for protection. The two flirt for a while, and in response to the feelings of Kyle, Sarah kisses him and they begin to make love. That is also the day John is conceived. Sarah and Kyle escape the motel in a pickup truck, while the Terminator pursues them on a motorcycle. The Terminator fires his gun toward the two while giving chase. During the pursuit, Kyle tells Sarah to drive while he throws bombs at him. Kyle throws 4 or 5 of them but misses every time. Furthermore, he is seriously wounded after being hit by a bullet. Sarah forces his motorcycle into the road barrier, causing the Terminator to fall from the bike, but because she loses control, the pickup truck of the two also overturns. When the Terminator regains consciousness, he is struck by an oil tanker. At this point, he is covered in blood and heavily damaged. The Terminator hijacks a fuel tanker and drives it straight toward the two who are fleeing on foot. Sarah runs quickly in a different direction to lead him away, while Kyle throws a pipe bomb into the hose of the truck. The Terminator is completely unaware and continues to drive the vehicle in pursuit of Sarah. The bomb detonates, causing the fuel truck to explode into pieces. The Terminator struggles in the flames for a while before his circuits short and he stops moving. The explosion leaves the Terminator as only an internal skeleton. Sarah and Kyle approach each other and embrace to celebrate, but unexpectedly, the Terminator is still able to stand up. It pursues the two of them. They flee into a factory owned by Cyberdyne and then lock the door. Kyle turns on all the switches in the factory to activate the machinery, aiming to cause confusion so that he cannot find the two of them. After a while, the Terminator smashes through the steel door and rushes inside. Sarah accidentally presses a hydraulic press button, which allows him to find their location. He approaches, and Kyle stands up to fight back so that Sarah can escape. Kyle punches him, but it has no effect, and he receives a counterattack. Kyle sticks his final bomb into the midsection of the Terminator, causing him to blow up. Sarah is also injured in one leg. She tries to endure the pain, pulls out a metal shard, and then crawls to check on the condition of Kyle, but unfortunately, he has died. The still-functioning torso of the Terminator then pursues Sarah. He crawls toward her, intending to grab Sarah and strangle her to death. At this time, Sarah is also injured, so she can only crawl. Sarah crawls along the hydraulic press, luring him in and causing him to become trapped in the middle. Sarah presses the button to lower the lever. The 1,000-ton hydraulic press pushes down, causing the alloy skeleton of the Terminator to shatter into pieces. Months later, Sarah is now much tougher than before. She is the only person who knows about the future of the war against the Skynet AI. Currently, she is pregnant with John, traveling through Mexico and recording tapes about what she knows for humanity to use against the AI war in the future. At a gas station, a young man takes a Polaroid photo of Sarah, the exact photo that John will one day give to Kyle. She has purchased it. The gas station owner comments that a storm is coming, and Sarah replies that she knows. When I was a child watching this movie, I did not understand everything either. I just found the shootouts to be thrilling. And then, I found the Terminator to be terrifying as hell, especially the part where it was a metallic skeleton crawling on the conveyor belt. At that time, this character was very well developed, cold and unstoppable. He was exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. This man did not seem to have any emotions. He acted exactly as if he were not acting at all, just like a robot. Initially, he was even selected for the role of Kyle Reese, but James Cameron changed his mind, and the rest is history. Although Arnold did not say much, every line of dialogue became a meme.
I'll be back.
The special effects at that time were mainly models and stop motion, but they were still enough to create a quite chilling sensation. The T-800 is such an excellent villain. As for Sarah Connor, she went from being an ordinary waitress to gradually becoming a survivor and the person who directly finished off the robot. This also served as the foundation for the female warrior image in the later installments. Even though the budget was only about $20 million, this movie earned $300 million, partly because the concept was so compelling, especially the time paradox. The T-800 goes back to kill Sarah, Kyle goes back to protect her, and then Kyle himself is the father of John. Then John grows up and sends Kyle back to the past. Another point is that the chip from the remains of the T-800 is the very thing that helps create Skynet. It sounds a bit far-fetched, but it makes sense according to the logic of this movie. Another quite interesting detail is that the T-800 killed the Sarah Connors according to the phone book, in a way that was very logical in the manner of a machine. At the end of the movie, Sarah brings a dog with her because in the future, dogs can detect Terminators. One more fact is that the line "I'll be back" was almost changed to "I will be back," but James Cameron kept it exactly as it was and created history. To summarize, this is an old movie, but it is not outdated at all. You can definitely watch it again.